Welcome to Mrs.Understood with Renee V. I'm Renee V, and this is my guest, Marla. This podcast is where we go behind the scenes, real stories through the labels and assumptions that people make about us and just people in general. But I want you to meet Marla. Marla is a nurse practitioner by day, financial fire starter by night. As co-owner of Eclipse Total Health, she's helping patients ditch brain fog and fatigue with cutting-edge hormonal care. And when the scrubs come off, she's running Wealthy Women Coaching, teaching women and teens the money skills school forgot. Smart, sharp, and refreshingly real, Marla's here to help you feel strong, confident, and fully in control, whether it's your health, your wallet, or your future. Let's dive in. So, Marla, why don't you tell us a story about yourself that shaped who you are today? Maybe think about how you might have been misunderstood, but it doesn't necessarily have to be
Yeah.
coming from that space.
So I think, I have this sort of vast history. I love to learn and I love to try and do all kinds of new things because why not? And so about me, I mean, it could take days, but the long and short is I ended up going into emergency medicine, and that shapes you in a way um, that's really hard to describe. You are in a male dominated field, so you have to have the biggest swinging dick, if you will, in the room in order to command a presence and to be able to control a scene. And when I say that, emergency medicine is a scary place sometimes. And to come out of school and to be a new grad and to be a woman and to be young is not the easiest situation. And so nurses have been nursing with, certain doctors for years and years, and you have to be able to direct them in a way that is, very cut, clear, concise, no emotion. And so I've learned to deliver a lot of what I do relatively cold. In the world that we live in, when women are emotional, they're considered weak, hysterical, unreliable, things of that nature. And so I have learned through that to hold my emotions in and to deliver a lot of things in a very normal tone, just, sort of like it's an everyday event. You don't walk into a room and tell a family member that their family member died while you're sobbing hysterically and heaving. You go in with empathy. I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, there's not anything we could do to save them. And it can be a little bit soul sucking. It can be a little bit, sometimes you want to break down, you want to cry, but that's not the right thing to do. You need to be there as a presence in strength for not only that family member, but all of your staff too. And then the patients that you have to then turn around and walk out of the room and go to and be able to focus on whatever their problem is.
Oh, what a transition and roller coaster of emotions.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, so if someone wrote a misunderstood version of your story, what would the title and the headline be?
Oh, that I'm like aggressive or aggressive. I get aggressive a lot, actually. And I think people are uncomfortable when you are direct. And I don't necessarily think that that's aggressive. I think that that is something that, like I said, I learned in emergency medicine. You have to be clear and cut and concise, and that certainly makes people feel uncomfortable. So I think that my biggest misunderstanding is that my calm in the storm or my calm when other people are upset is, that I don't care or that I'm not empathetic or, when I say things very directly that I'm aggressive, and I'm not. I actually am so empathetic that it sometimes is difficult for me to get out of bed because I see the news and I feel it so deep. And, I have a family who has an issue or, a friend who's having an issue, and I'm feeling it and I'm processing, like, how can I help them? What can I do? But because my delivery method is that of calm, cool, and collected, it's very misunderstood sometimes.
Oh, I can only imagine. So when I hear the word aggressive, I don't think of someone who's direct. I
Yeah.
think of more of people that are like pit bulls, like attacking. Like that's kind of how I associate that word. Or
Yeah.
or like we had a cheer in high school called aggressive, AGG,
Aggressive.
R-A-S-S-I-V-E, aggressive. Yeah.
Be
Be
aggressive.
aggressive. Yeah. So it's so funny. You caught right on to me, girl. Like,
I was a 90s girl, a
oh
cheerleading 90s
yeah, that
girl.
was like, I mean, and that's what I associate that word with, as opposed to the paradox of who you are, which is someone who is really, really empathetic, but has to display extreme discipline and control in your own emotions when you're dealing with families that are dealing with like horrible, horrible things.
Yeah, and I think too, when you live that world every day at work, it travels into your everyday world. So, like, bless my husband's heart, but like, he'll get upset about something. And I just am like, okay, so let's talk about it and figure it out. And he's like, how are you not upset? Like, he's like, you don't care. And I'm like, I do care. Like, I care very much, but like, let's just, have a conversation. And that's hard for people, I think, too.
Yeah, well, you don't let it take over.
Right.
And that's
Right.
a quality that a lot of people don't have,
Yeah.
which then in turn makes them not be able to handle situations that well.
Correct.
So what you have, in my perspective, as misunderstood, is that you have a superpower. And that's
It
what I
is.
like to say. Like most of the time, people who feel the way we feel about being misunderstood, it is a strength. It's a quality that not many people understand, because we are looking to get better, grow more, be the best version of ourselves. And a lot of people don't even have that desire at all, which blows my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, the more that you're talking about growth, and growth is one of the hardest things because you have to get uncomfortable to grow. And who wants to get uncomfortable? Nobody. We have
Mhm.
we have built an entire culture around creature comforts and creature
Mhm.
habits, and getting and growing is so painful and so uncomfortable. Like, you have your 9-year-old who's like, my legs hurt and my body hurts, and they're called growing pains for a reason.
Mhm.
That's why.
Yep. Yeah. And if we make huge deals out of little things, especially to the kids that we talk to,
Yeah,
they are going to model that. And that's where they're going to take with them. And that's why we need to be the best version of ourselves, to be the best role models we can for them.
absolutely.
And that it's so important. It's so important, but it's so misunderstood.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And, even with, like, I have a 15-year-old now, a 15-year-old, which is just wild to me. But, I think that I get a little bit of slack from some parents sometimes because I'm really direct with him. Like, I'm honest. I work in the medical field. We are open about sex. We're
Uh-huh.
open about drugs. We're open about alcohol. He actually comes and tells on himself half the time. Before he even does things, he's like, so I was going to do this, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, you have choices to make, and I can't dictate every single choice for you, but you sounds like you know what the right answer is here. Um, but it's uncomfortable sometimes to have those conversations,
Mhm.
and they're the ones that we absolutely need to have.
Oh, yes. I mean, I'm very much like that with my children. I have a 16-year-old and an almost 12-year-old. And I would prefer them to come to me with anything. I don't care what it is,
Yeah,
because I can only help them if I understand what's going on.
100%.
So, like, hiding things, like, that's not, as far as I know, happening in my family,
Yeah,
because just like you said, your son comes to you, my son comes to me.
yeah,
And I think it comes from a space of non-judgment. When
100%.
I wish almost that I was raised like that, where I could be as open as I feel like I'm doing like such a service for my kids.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I was sneaking out of the house doing all kinds of things when I was younger, and if my parents had been open and, supportive of certain things, it would have been a totally different
Yeah,
story.
and less controlling. I feel like a lot of it's about control,
Yeah.
especially with that generation.
Yeah.
Where I don't want to control anybody. I actually am the opposite. I don't want to deal with it. Like, just like take care of it. Like
Right.
that's how I parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
If my son disappears and he is now driving and he leaves, and I know where he is because of Life 360, but
Sure.
I'm not like, you need to be home and what are you like? He openly tells me, Mom, I'm going to the gym, Mom, I'm doing this, Mom, I'm doing this, because
Yeah,
I'm here doing my thing. I'm not like hyper fixated on him,
exactly.
and I think that brings about an openness in communication, because there's no fear of being judged.
Yeah. No fear of being judged. Again, our punishments, unless you really, do something terrible, our punishments are realistic. If that, more so it's talk to us, explain why you did what you did, and, let's go from there. How do we not make the same mistakes again? And I think we have to let them fail. I mean, I know this is a little off topic, but we have to let
No,
them
it's not.
fail. We have to let them make those mistakes and learn from them, because that's what we did. We made lots of mistakes and learned from a lot of them. They can't learn from the mistakes that we made and then tell them about it. That just doesn't, it's not how it works at that age.
Right. And we also can't speak to certain things if we're not doing it ourselves, because
Absolutely.
that's the other thing that annoys me, is
Mhm.
when people are all like on their soapbox about, parenting or whatever, and their kid behind the back is the meanest kid on the block.
Awful. Yes,
Oh, it's the
absolutely.
worst. All
Absolutely.
right. So
Yep.
I want to get into a little segment that I'm testing out. So it's called Misunderstood, Understood. So
Okay.
it's quick questions, real answers, and
Okay.
let's see kind of what clicks. Okay.
Okay.
So, what's one thing people think you love, but you actually don't?
Oh, um, that's hard.
Hmm.
I think people think that I love work, and I I am passionate about it, and I'm passionate about helping people. But I don't actually love getting up and leaving my house. I'm very much a homebody. And so, getting up and going out to work, I would love to sit behind a screen and see women all day long and do their hormone health and never actually step outside. That would be okay with me. Step outside, like I like to go hiking and stuff, but like around
Sure. I
other
know what you're saying.
people.
Like the whole
Yeah.
getting ready and all the things in the
Yeah.
car, blah, 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 get the
Yeah.
gas. Like, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. It's the people. Like so
It's
awful to say, but like I went to
okay.
the grocery store today and I was like, oh my God, there's so many people.
Yeah, it's too peoply out there.
Yeah.
I think that also comes with older age.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
I think when the pandemic hit, I was like, this is amazing. Like, and then I was like, well, even when the stores were empty, the roads were empty, I was like, this is how I want to live.
Yeah,
Now it's
exactly.
like back to this, just
Mayhem.
bunch of ants like
Yes.
corroding the streets. And it's
Yep.
yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I think,
Yeah.
the more happy you are in your life, the less you want to leave your house, because you're just
Yeah.
content.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think that's something people misunderstand.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's not like oh, I'm a hermit. It's like I'm happy. I'm happy to sit here and read my books and learn and,
Mhm.
do all of those things. But
And because you like yourself. And I think a lot of people, self-love is not, really like promoted. Self-hate is
that took
definitely,
time.
oh,
That took
yes.
time. So, like, there was a point in my life after my initial divorce, I was, pushing 180 pounds and I was unhappy with myself and I was miserable. And, it didn't matter that I was working out, or any of that. I couldn't get rid of the weight. It really honestly wasn't until I balanced my hormones, I figured out my happiness, I got those cortisol levels down. I learned how to deal with stress. Like, all of those things are, I think, what got me to the point where I am now, where like, I don't actually even work out as much as I used to work out, but I'm so much leaner because I just feel like my body and my mind are balanced together, and that makes a huge difference.
Oh, I want to scream that from the mountaintops.
Yeah.
It's so true. But that was a choice you made, you
It
know?
is. It's still a choice every day
Yeah.
because it is very easy to, I'll say relapse because you really, it's not an addiction, but it is like a neural pathway that you have to start to rewire. And it's a very, very easy to go back to the old way.
Mhm.
We're creatures of habits. Our brains are creatures of habits. We don't want to have to think about the next thing. And so it's easy to go back because that's what we know and that's what's habitual. And so we have to really fight it honestly a little bit, even sometimes, and wake up and say, okay, today's going to be a good day. Today's going to, this is how it's going to look for me. And that's
It's
not
a
always
choice.
easy.
It's a choice. And I think people don't, that's something that's very misunderstood is that, just because I carry it well doesn't mean it's not heavy. So,
Absolutely.
so like if people could say something about you, like, oh, Marla's just great. She's got like this and that and the other thing going on. And meanwhile, you've done all this deep work
Yeah.
to make yourself into who you are today. And you've gone through
Yeah.
your struggles, but you made a choice to make yourself better for your family.
Absolutely. So I ended up with a divorce, my initial marriage. My daughter passed away at birth. I was $120,000 in debt when I got divorced. We lost our house. I ended up moving home with my parents and a 3-month-old baby, and a dog. So like my life has not been all sunshine and rainbows, and I'm remarried, and my husband and I are good. There are days he's a man and I want to strangle him. And it's definitely, it looks pretty from the outside, but like, life is messy. It doesn't matter like what it looks like from the outside. There's still challenges every day. And I still had to overcome a lot of things to be where I am now.
Well, that's really important messaging because just because people seem like even the famous people you see, they all
Oh,
struggle. Everybody struggles.
oh my gosh, yeah. Oh
But
my
what
gosh,
is
yeah.
what is misunderstood is that we've taken struggles that we've gone through and we've turned them into a superpower that we're like, you know, focusing on making ourselves better. You embrace the suck, the suck of
Absolutely.
losing a child, the suck of divorcing, the suck of being overweight. And where some people will just crawl in a hole
Yep.
and just use it as a reason not to get better because of these challenging and awful things that you've gone through.
Yeah.
But you made a choice, and I think that's really important for my listeners to think about, is that we've all carry crosses, we all bear
Absolutely.
crosses, but it's how we react to them is what makes us who we are. So
Correct.
we've all been through stuff, but
Absolutely.
and when you think about it, when people make like assumptions about like how people are doing, or you see people online or whatever, we all know we're only human. We go
Yeah.
in waves, right? Like it's up, down, up, down, up, down. The beauty of it, that's
Absolutely.
all temporary. Good is temporary, bad is temporary.
100%.
Yeah, but I love that you said that because it's so, you've been through things that not many people have been through. So for you, it was really important for you to kind of step up and be the person that you would want to be for, your other child.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, childhood trauma can be a real bitch. We had some stuff as kids that was tough, but one of the things that was sort of ingrained in us was that you don't fail. And I think that has pushed me and driven me to push myself. But the one thing that I've learned is that failure is okay. I have failed. My marriage failed. It felt like a failure when my daughter passed away. I have failed at money, but I failed forward. So I took that failure and I learned from it, and I taught myself things, and I asked questions to people and learned how to turn that failure into something bigger and better than what it was. And so, I didn't always understand failing forward when I first heard it. And now I can see like failing forward really is, it's okay to fail. Like it's okay to not do well at something if you've learned something from it about yourself, or how to succeed in the future, or what you don't like, or
Mm-hmm.
what you don't want, moving forward. And so that applies to marriages, jobs, school. I mean, obviously everybody should finish high school and whatnot. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but if you're in a major in college and you're like, I absolutely hate this, stop doing
Pivot.
it. Why do
Pivot.
you want to do that for the rest of your life if you're miserable? Just stop and find something else.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think that that's really important. It's one thing that I teach James and try to teach James is, that failing forward is okay as long as you pick yourself up and you keep moving.
Mm-hmm. And I like to say that we don't fail, we learn. So, that's basically what it is. We don't lose, we learn.
Yeah.
You're either winning or you're learning.
That I like that too. Yep.
Yeah. So like that's something that I, definitely have ingrained in my kids. We've been gone through the typical high school, like didn't make the team, we don't work the heart, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it might seem like it's shitty now,
Yeah.
but this is the universe's way
Yeah.
of putting you on the right path.
Life lessons, 100%.
Like you doesn't feel like it in the moment, but
Oh yeah.
something better is going to come,
Yeah.
like,
And you're gonna either realize the red flags or you're gonna realize what you didn't like about that person or that
mhm.
thing so that you don't go down that same pathway again.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that. Okay, so let's do it. So we did a misunderstood. Let's do an understood. What is something you wish everyone knew about you?
That I would pretty much give you the shirt off my back. I will do anything to help somebody if it's in my power. And even if I can't do something physically for them, I'll research, I'll reach out to my network, I'll try and find a way to help them with whatever it is that their problem is. And I think people, once they get to know me, they realize that. Like I've had people reach out and be like, I'm really stuck and I don't know what to do. I will find a way to help you. It's in some way. I will connect you. I will do whatever I can. Um, and so the people who know me, they know that.
Yeah,
But I wish more people would realize that.
sure. Well, we need more Marlas in the world. That's for sure. Because that's you're the person, if you're a go-to person, I mean,
Yeah.
that's magic for you, like to feel that way, to give, to
Yeah.
constantly be giving, because then you're going to receive it back in one way, shape, or form. And it's
Yeah.
you're not doing it for that, but it does. Energetically, that exchange is
Sure.
so amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. To know that somebody is not suffering or hurting because you were able to connect them or help them or do whatever. Yes, that is a very good feeling for sure.
Yeah, I love that. And it's not an expectation of return. It's
No.
the
Yeah.
universe will reward you no matter what.
I rescue raccoons on the side. I don't know. I have like a weird obsession with them. And everybody's like, "Why are you rescuing raccoons?" But like, I don't know. I'm not going to get anything out of it, but I absolutely love going to get these little buggers and then take them over to the sanctuary and get them help. And
Where do you rescue them from?
you would be surprised what is posted on Facebook. And like, here's me, like I'm 5 foot, 115 pounds. Like end up packing my Glock because I end up in the
Yeah.
woods, like by myself. The one night I called my husband, he was like on his way home from work. It was like 6:30. I'm like, I'm going to Conshohocken train station to go capture a raccoon. He's like, who's there? I'm like, I don't know. I saw it on Facebook. He's like, what? You don't even know what you're walking into. He was a cop before he started doing what he does now. And he's like, are you crazy? I'm like, yeah, I am. It's fine. It's all good.
Oh my gosh, you're a heart of gold. I love this. This is hilarious. It's so something I would do. Like,
Oh, I love it. I love it.
not raccoons
Squirrels.
per se, but like I see struggle and I just want to be
Yeah.
helpful. And that is I rescue raccoons. Now that is a line I've never heard.
So I worked in veterinary medicine before I became a nurse, like long ago. I told you, like I've flown planes, I've done all kinds of like crazy shit. Like it's so bizarre. I have like a whole like list of repertoire of like all the things that I've tried just because I have like ADHD and I'm like, let me try this. This sounds fun. Um, so I'm rabies vaccinated, and so people are afraid to help because they're afraid of rabies. And
Mhm.
believe it or not, most of the time it's not rabies, it's a toxin or distemper or something like that. But I digress. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. I'll just go take a ride and capture a raccoon. It's fine. We're all good.
Amazing. It's amazing. I'll just go take a ride and rescue these raccoons. It's not like kittens. It's
Oh no. That would be too easy. No.
like that is the fun fact about you for
Fun
sure.
fact, absolutely. No, not
Wow.
my husband. My husband doesn't think it's a fun fact.
Oh no, I see why we get along so well, because I have always been the spearhead of this of my little unit over here where I
Yeah.
make crazy decisions without even consulting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because I was like, who you married. Like,
Right. Right.
I spearheaded a move from New York to here. I
Yes.
told him
Yes.
afterwards. I was like, by the way, I'm interviewing for a job and we're moving.
just gonna pack our whole lives up and move a couple hundred miles. It's like no big deal. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
but like I feel like it's very similar in the sense where you're very independent and
Yes.
like I don't need him to give me permission. Like
Right.
I'm gonna go do it, and if you don't let me do it, you're gonna regret it because I'm gonna be pissed, and I'm gonna,
Yeah.
like that. It's just let it go. Just let
Yeah.
me be me
Yeah.
because although we're a force together, we are great separately. And for
Yeah.
me, like I spend a lot of my time alone.
Yeah.
My kids
And
are
I'm
old.
okay with that.
I love
Like,
it.
I think he's less okay with the time alone, actually. Like, because I think he spends a lot of time alone at work. And so when he is home, the time that he is home, he like wants to be like a whole big unit.
Mhm.
And sometimes I'm like, I feel like a little suffocated. Again, like love him to death, but like it's hard when you're somebody who is perfectly happy in yourself to be alone, to kind of be not told what to do because that's not really the right word, but kind of like feel almost obligated to like not go and do something on your own because it's family time.
Mhm.
And not to say like I love family time when it's like planned and we're doing something, but like I don't want to sit on the couch and just stare at the TV.
I'm with you. Although I have trained myself now, I watch these series. Again, digressing, but I never really watched TV. And people were like, "Oh, did you see this? No. Did you see this? No." But then the pandemic made
Oh,
me like now like crave these like cool Netflix series. Like,
okay.
and then every night because my husband and I were I'm a little different in the sense where my husband he comes home, we're like I already ate, he's eating, then he's going to the gym. Like we're not like kind of that's the
Yeah.
only kind of real time that we spend together.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
funny because I'm free all day, and then
Yeah.
then I know like around 8 o'clock we're gonna watch a show.
Oh, yeah.
That's like
See that?
kind of how we spend our time together. So
Yeah.
it's funny. I totally get it though. I totally
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh. So we're gonna need to oh boy, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Okay. All right. So before we close, because believe it or not, we could talk all day, and
we could.
I still want to dig further into who Marla is because I feel like we just scratched the surface. So it's what is something you would teach the world in 60 seconds flat, if you could?
60 seconds flat. Oh, these are such good questions.
Thanks.
I think honestly, be whoever you are. When we try and be somebody that we're not, we end up in these relationships, whether it be marriages, friendships, etc., that just aren't functional and aren't going to last. And so even at work, like, you get this job and you're prim and you're proper for your interview, but like maybe that's not who you really are. And then you end up in this stuffy workplace that you're just miserable at. And so I'm not saying to be crude and callous and, rude or anything like that, but like you are who you are. And if people can't accept you for that, they're not actually your people. And it's hard because we all want to fit in and we all want to, have friends and stuff like that. But quality is much better than quantity, frankly. And if you just act who you are from the get-go, it will save you so much time and trouble later on and so much heartache later on.
Absolutely. You attract who you are. So if
Yes,
you're putting on a faux whatever facade for people, you're going to attract people that aren't aligned with you.
correct.
So being real
100%.
and raw, and that's a huge reason why I started this is because I want people to let it go, be who you
Yeah,
are. Let's promote realness
absolutely.
because real doesn't always get rewarded.
It
All the
doesn't.
fake stuff gets rewarded and drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
frustrating.
we could go on for days, I'm
I,
sure.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that's like a whole nother conversation, but a
Well,
hundred
maybe we're gonna
percent.
have to have that conversation.
I'm okay with it.
I'm happy to we can do this again anytime because I love when I click with people, it's like a high. Like I feel
Yeah.
like high off of
Absolutely. It's energy. It's that energy exchange. And
yes.
it's funny. I'm very like sciencey brained, and it took me a long time to get into the quote woo woo, but the
Mhm.
energy, and that sort of conversion that people have with each other. But I really believe it now. And like I even teach, grounding and meditation and things like that to my clients because I actually now see it. Like I didn't see it before, but now I see it and I'm like, oh, I should have I wish I had, you know, like,
I'm the same. I come from a similar, I'm a speech therapist. So for me, it's
yeah,
all science, it's all technique, it's all this stuff. But then when I started integrating mindset with my students, I mean, I was seeing changes.
yeah,
But again, this came very like later in life, my early 40s, like a
yeah,
couple years, like 5 years ago. I was like, oh my God, where the hell have I been?
yeah, under a rock.
Under
Uh,
a rock,
yeah, yeah,
under a
100%.
rock.
Yeah.
Well, can you share with my audience where they can find you and, like find your work or
Yeah,
connect with
absolutely.
you?
So for hormonal health, it's going to be Eclipse Total Health, www.eclipsetotalhealth.com. And the number is 610-947-0730. And then for the women or teen financial coaching, it's www.wealthywomencoaching.com. And my number is 610-906-5801. And yeah, just give me a buzz or drop a link through either of the websites and happy to reach out and chat.
Well, thank you for sharing all of your goodness today.
Thank
And
you for having me. This has been super fun,
isn't
and I
it
would
fun?
love a round two for
Oh,
sure.
we're going to do a round two.
Okay.
I need more myself. I'm assuming everyone out there needs it too. So, all right. So to all my misunderstood listeners, remember being understood starts with understanding yourself. I'm misunderstood. Have a great day. Sorry, I'm like special with this.
Oh, no, that's right.